Last month in the east end of Toronto, the average semi-detached house sold in 12 days. I'm not talking about the hot ones or the completely renovated showpieces. I mean the average East End semi sold in 12 days with multiple offers and at a final price 9% above what they listed for. Now, before anyone panics, most of those over asking numbers is a strategy. Agents in the East End or in Toronto as a whole list low on purpose to drive on offer night. It's a bit of a theater. Everyone in the industry and any buyers that are currently searching, they see what's going on. But here's the thing about that strategy. It only works when there's enough buyers in the room to bid against each other. In a dead market, listing low gets you a low offer. The fact that it's working again tells you buyers are back. And that should get your attention because for the past 2 years, every headline about this market had been about falling prices, desperate sellers, and buyers holding all the power. If you own a condo and you've been waiting for house prices to keep dropping before you make your move, this month's TRREB report is the one you actually need to see. 4,400 houses sold across the GTA in June. And behind that number, the market quietly flipped. Let me walk you through this. 4,400 freehold sales in June of 2026. That's detached, semi-detached, and townhouse combined. A year ago, that number was about 4,000. So sales are up about 7% year over year. And you break that down by type and the picture sharpens. Detached sales went up 8%. Townhouses went up 9%. Semis went up about 3%. Every single freehold category sold more homes this June than last June. That has not happened in a long time. Now, more sales on its own does not mean much. If a flood of new listings hits the market at the same time, more sales can still mean falling prices. This is what's actually happening in the condo market. And I covered that in my condo update. But that's not what's happening with the houses. And this is where it gets interesting. Only 11,000 new freehold listings came to the market in June. That's down 11% from a year ago. Sellers are holding back. Active listings, that's the total pool of houses sitting on the market, dropped to 16,000. That's down 12% year over year. So run the two lines in your head. Sales are up 7%, while supply is down 12%, which means more buyers are chasing fewer houses. Every month, those two lines keep moving in opposite directions. The market gets tighter. At June's pace of sales, the GTA has about 3.6 months of freehold inventory left. A year ago, that number was 4.4 months. A balanced market runs 3 to 4 months. We are inside the balance band and moving towards the tight end of it. Compare that to the condos for 1 second. The condo market is sitting at 5 months of inventory and getting heavier. Houses and condos are not in the same market anymore. They're moving in opposite directions. And here's the number I watch the closest. The sales to new listing ratio. Below 40% is a buyer's market. Above 60% is a seller's market. Detached, 38%, just under that line. Townhouses are at 41%, inside balanced territory. And semis are at 50%. Read that again. The semi-detached market has crossed the midpoint of the balance range. Semis are halfway to a seller's market while everyone is still reading the headlines about a housing crash. And the speed data backs it up. The average GTA semi is now selling at 102% of asking in 19 days. Townhouses at 100% in 25 days. Detached at 97% in 25 days. Remember, over asking is mostly a strategy. So treat that 102% as a demand signal, not a sign that buyers are overpaying. The signal says demand for semis is strong enough that offer night is working again. And I'm seeing this on the ground every week. 6 months ago, I could book a showing for a client the same day and we'll be the only ones in the house. Now, the good semis and townhouses have offer dates again. And there are 3 or 4 registered offers when the date arrives. Not 15 offers like back in 2021, but 3 or 4 is all it takes to lose the house you wanted. So if you're a buyer, here's what this means practically. The era of lowballing freehold sellers and getting a yes is ending. You can still negotiate on detached, especially in the 905, but on semis and townhouses in the city in Toronto, come with your financing ready and your decision made because that house will not wait for you. If you own a home in the GTA or you're trying to buy one, subscribe. I break down TRREB's numbers every week. Houses, condos, composite. And if you subscribe, it'll help me keep on making videos just like this. So sales are up. Supply is shrinking. Semis have offer dates again. The question everyone's asking me, what did that do to the price? The average GTA detached house sold for 1.36 mil in June. In May, it was 1.358 mil. That's about $6,000 month for month. After 2 years of grinding, the average detached price actually rose. Year over year, detached is still down 2%, but only 2% now. Semis sold for an average about $1,038,000, down about 5% from last June. Townhouses, $912,000, down 5%. Compare that to condos, which is down 9% year over year. And the declining, it's accelerating. House prices are still below last year, but the slide has slowed to a crawl. TRREB said directly in this report, if conditions keep tightening through the second half, prices could actually start posting increases. When supply is falling, sales are rising, and prices have flattened out, you do not need a crystal ball to see where that combination usually leads. Inside the city of Toronto, almost 800 detached houses sold in June. District by district, the spread is huge. Toronto Central, 263 sales at an average about 2.3 mil. That's Rosedale, Forest Hill, Lawrence Park money. That's pulling the average up. Central detached, it's in its own universe. Toronto West, 257 sales at 1.4 mil. This is my backyard. West End detached is sitting almost exactly on the GTA average. And for buyers who got priced out of Central a decade ago, it's still the value play inside the 416. Toronto East, 272 sales at 1.18 mil, the most affordable detached in the city. I remember those East End semis selling at 109% of list in 12 days. The average East End semi sold for 1.179. In the East End right now, a semi costs almost exactly what a detached costs. When two property types converge like that, buyers who can stretch even slightly should be looking hard at detached. Now zoom out, because this is where houses and condos really part ways. In 2016, the average GTA detached sold for about 975,000. The 2017 run-up pushed it to a little over a mil. Then the market corrected and flattened through 2019. The pandemic sent it vertical, about 1.15 mil in 2020, 1.439 mil in 2021, and the peak in 2022 at 1.545 mil. Then 10 rate hikes in 18 months, and the correction. 1.46 mil in 2023, 1.453 mil in 2024, 1.38 mil in 2025. And now, June 2026 at 1.364 mil. That is about 181,000 below the peak, almost 12% decline in 4 years. And if you bought a detached house in early 2022, you're still underwater. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But context matters. Condos are down almost 70% from their peak. And the average condo has round tripped all the way back to its 2020 price. Detached is still 214,000 above its 2022 level. Houses went through a correction, but condos went through a collapse. The land under a freehold home held value in a way that a unit in a 400 suite tower did not. And that difference is the entire story of this market cycle. If you've been sitting in a condo waiting for the perfect moment to move to a house, understand what the data is telling you. The two markets you care are moving against you from both ends at the same time. The house you want has stopped getting cheaper, and the condo you need to sell is still getting cheaper. Every month you wait, the gap between them gets wider, not smaller. If you're selling a house, especially a semi or a townhouse in the 416, this is the strongest position you have been in for about 2 years. You price a property, let the market compete, and do not accept the low ball just because the buyer read a crash headline about 18 months ago. And if you're buying a detached house, you still have a window at 38% sales to new listing. Detached is the last freehold segment where buyers hold the leverage. The data says that that window is getting smaller every month. So use it while it's opened.